Welcome back. We are now joined by Heather Fazio, the Executive Director for Texans for Accountable Government. We're going to talk a little bit about the RFID chip program that is taking place in a couple of San Antonio schools in the San Antonio School District. Heather, Ms. Fazio, thank you so much for joining us here on InfoWars Nightly News.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, Ms. Fazio, we wanted to speak to you because I was made aware that recently you were able to gain access to the names and addresses of many school children. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. The students' addresses, phone numbers, and names, including their grade numbers and the school they attend, is all considered public information and is considered directory information on behalf of the school. And this is all something that can be made public by anyone who simply makes an open records request, which is what I did to get the names, addresses, phone numbers, and grade levels of all the students at John Jay High School and Anson Jones Middle School, the two schools that are their students are being subjected to this pilot program, which uses a RFID microchip in order to track the location of the students at all times while they're on campus.
Now, why did you try to do this? Why did you try to get this information?
Our goal with this information is to educate the parents about the program and to invite them to a community forum that we're going to be hosting in the near future, because the principals and the administration with Northside Independent School District have refused to host any kind of public forum where parents can come and express their concerns and with the program. Now,
there are some new viewers joining us today. Melissa Melton, Jakari Jackson have done a story on this, which you can catch on Alex Jones' YouTube channel. We've also had the parents of some of the students who are concerned about this here in the studio. But for the new viewers joining us right now, tell us a little bit about this program that is taking place in several schools in San Antonio.
Well, we're seeing a student locator pilot program being implemented at two schools in the Northside Independent School District. This program is similar to a lot of programs that are going on across the country where microchip manufacturers are looking to expand their market. And so they're selling these pieces of technology as a way for schools to collect more money because they are looking at our children as inventory. That's what this technology was originally used for. Now, here in San Antonio, Wade Garcia and Associates is the manufacturer of the microchip, and they have been lobbying the school district to bring this program on because they stand to make millions of dollars by the implementation of this. And they say that it's going to get the attendance records up so that they get more money from the schools, when in reality, all they would need is administrators and people that are the adults on campus to be paying attention to where students are at 9:30 or whatever the time is when attendance is taken.
Now, it seems like a pretty ridiculous reason as to why they're doing this. But again, what is their justification for this? They're saying this will allow students to increase their attendance. Why are they doing this again?
Well, they'll say that students are sometimes in the gym or in the library or maybe in the nurse's office when attendance is counted, and then the school does not get the dollars, the $35 per student that it should because the student is somewhere else on campus. Now, this could easily be fixed with an administration that is alert and aware to where children are at the time that attendance is supposed to be taken. Now, they'll tell us every trick in the book. The first thing that they have listed on their website, if you go to nisd.net/student locator, they have a nice fluffy website there with all the information. And of course, the number one thing is to keep students safe. Now, how many times have we heard that we have to sacrifice our privacy rights in order for security? We've been hearing this, we've been bombarded with this message, this nonsense since 9/11, and now we're seeing it implemented at our schools in order for them to track our children like cattle. And it's going to take the parents and the community in San Antonio coming together in order to stand up against this program, and we can knock it out here in San Antonio, and we don't have to worry about it throughout the rest of Texas.
Now, I actually have two nephews in the San Antonio School District, and they happen to go to one of those schools. And I was recently talking to them, asking them what do they think about this program. You know, like 12-year-olds, they were a little bit out of it. But one of my nephews told me, well, I just throw it away. He's actually an honor roll student, you know, so this is not some rebel. He goes, well, I just throw it away, and they really haven't bothered me. But from what I understand recently, I don't know if you heard this story, a student threw her little tracker away. She was about 15 miles away from the school. And, you know, the next day, school officials handed the chip back to her and said, don't lose this or else. I mean, just talk about complete tyranny. Have you heard about that story?
I did hear about that story briefly, and it looks like if the students don't wear their badges or if they say that they've lost them, it's a $15 charge that the parents are going to have to pay at the end of the school year. And they're tying these children's education to their compliance with this program. And we've seen Andrea Hernandez and her father, Stephen, going through the proper grievance process with Northside, and they filed their level 1 complaint, and they've been received with a relief. As far as one of their complaints, Andrea has been told that she does not have to wear the chip. She has to wear a dummy badge, so it looks like she's supporting the program. But they would not stop the program based on religious beliefs. Now, the Hernandez family is taking it to level 2. They now have a lawyer out of Baytown who's representing them and is going to help to make sure that they get everything filed properly and that everyone knows what kind of civil rights violation is being perpetrated upon them, and not to mention the health and privacy risks of all the other students at the school.
Now, I mean, does this open the door for child molesters to track down these children?
Well, with the technology, the radiation, the radio frequency is being emitted up to 140 feet around the student. Now, the schools will tell you that they only work on campus, and that's a yes and a no. They can only track students on campus. However, anyone else with an RFID reader that you can buy online for $500 and a little bit of hacker skills to determine the protocol can track these students anywhere they go up to 140 feet. Now, with that combined with the information that is made public through the directory information with the school, these predators can go directly to these children's houses with a radiation of 140 feet. They can get the identification number and they can track the student whether they're at the mall, at the library, or at home.
Now, do you think Ms. Hernandez and other opponents who are taking legal, taking this issue to court, do you think they have a good chance of winning?
I think absolutely. Without an opt-out program in place at these schools, these kids don't have an opportunity to opt out of it if they have a problem with their religious freedom. They believe that for one reason or another that they don't want to go, they don't want to sacrifice their faith. And then also, if there's a health risk, there are possible health risks associated with this, and these students are being constantly bombarded by these radio frequencies, and this is all experimental technology. Our students should never be treated as guinea pigs with experimental technology.
Now, are there a lot of opponents? Are a lot of the individuals in the school system, are a lot of parents voicing their concerns over this program, or are they just like zombies just saying, yeah, chip me, it's okay?
Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of parents who are okay with it. They've been brainwashed into thinking that any kind of totalitarian control from government is going to keep them safe. But there also are a lot of people who are overcoming their fear and standing up for themselves. We have almost a half a dozen parents who are at one point or another in their grievance process. And now at the schools, students that do not have the chip are having to go to a specific line, a little separate but equal discrimination there. And they are having to go to the far line being cast aside to get their lunches from another area. And Andrea Hernandez reported that there were dozens of students in that line having to stand there and wait for their lunch. And so there are students standing up for themselves. The thing is that there's been a chilling effect instilled in these children that if they don't comply with the program, that they're going to be kicked out of school and that they're going to get in trouble. And it's so amazing to see a young woman like Andrea and the other students standing up for themselves in the face of this authoritarianism that we see in these indoctrination camps.
And if you want to learn more about Ms. Fazio's outreach initiative, you can go to chipfreeschools.com. That's chipfreeschools.com. Now, Ms. Fazio, have supporters of the RFID technology, have they hinted that they might be willing to compromise on this issue?
Their compromise is to do a case-by-case opt-out for people that go through the grievance process. So you have to go and fight them formally and with a lawyer in order to be able to opt out of this. So I don't really look at that as a compromise, especially for the people who have serious religious convictions about programs like this.
Now, are other school districts seriously considering using this technology?
There are other school districts, and they look at San Antonio as a test bed and looking to see how it's implemented, what kinds of objections people have, so that they can do a smooth sailing rollout in other districts. So that's why it's so important for people to rally around the opponents in San Antonio right now as they try to take a stand for all of Texas with this program. The next school board meeting is October 23rd, and if you show up at 59 Everett Street at 5 o'clock, you can sign up to speak, and you can show support for all the people who are getting out there to stand up for themselves.
Now, what civil liberty assurances are supporters of this technology giving to the public? I mean, they're obviously, you know, like most people who manipulate, they're probably trying to assure the public that there's no need to worry. It's all in their imagination. What assurances have they been giving the public?
None that I'm willing to buy. You know, on their website, they'll say that it would take a very advanced hacker to be able to get into this information. And they were basically releasing the liability and putting it onto the school district instead of the actual manufacturer of the products, saying that these students are as safe as all of the firewalls that we as a school district have put up to protect them. So they're basically saying there is no way that we can protect you, but there's no way that we can really protect you from anything. But we have done our best to try to make sure that hackers can't get into it. But we all know that that's not true. If somebody wants to manipulate this technology to take advantage of a child, they are going to do that. And we are going to see students being made victim because of the use of this technology.
Now, from a cost analysis perspective, how much will this chip technology program cost the city? From what I understand, the technology can actually be bought. It's more inexpensive if you just go to your local electronics shop to buy it, or it's pretty expensive from what I'm told.
That's right, but the company, Wade Garcia and Associates, is cutting us a break because he knows that if he lets us just get it for $500,000 now to set it up and a little bit of maintenance, that he's going to make millions of dollars on the back end with the money that they're going to bring in. So, you know, it looks like a good investment on paper, but is sacrificing the integrity and dignity of our students really worth making a corporation a few $1 million? I don't think so.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to share with the public?
Sure. I just wanted to encourage, again, folks to go to chipfreeschools.com to show support for the people that are standing up for themselves against this. The next board meeting is October 23rd, and we need as many people to come as possible to show support. You don't have to sign up to speak, but if you'd like to, get there by 5 so that you can get your name on the list and you can let the Northside Independent School District know where you stand on children being chipped like cattle. Again, Chip Free Schools is the website. Please donate if you can't make it on the 23rd. We've raised $3,500 of our $5,000 goal. We're on our way to be able to send mailers to these parents to organize a community forum so that they can discuss the potential risks associated with this program and putting a stop to this in San Antonio so we don't have to deal with it in other cities in Texas and across the country.
Well, Ms. Fazio, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your efforts. You're a true patriot. You're going head-to-head against the globalists, and we really appreciate that. Best of luck.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for your attention to this important issue.
And thank you, Ms. Fazio, for joining us today. And we also want to thank We Are Change San Antonio and We Are Change Texas Hill Country, who have helped Mrs. Fazio with her efforts very much so. They've collected signatures for petitions. They are true patriots. Again, We Are Change San Antonio and We Are Change Texas Hill Country. Thank you for the honorable work that you do. And remember to tune in to our Money Bomb later on this week. It's going to be taking place on Thursday and Friday, the 18th and 19th of October. It's going to be 48 hours. It's going to help fund our operation. Alex is going to be talking for hours. I mean, he's just going to be on fire. He's really going to roll up his sleeves during this Money Bomb. And throughout the marathon, you're going to have different reporters hosting and manning the fort. Dan Badandi is going to have a show. Jakari Jackson's going to be on for about an hour or two. I'm going to be on. I'm going to have some guests. Melissa Melton's going to be on. It's just literally going to be info warriors uniting to spread the message. So tune in for the 48-hour money bomb. It's actually a little bit longer than 48 hours. No, I take that back. It's 48 hours. It's a 2-day money bomb. And, you know, we're not funded here by George Soros. We're not funded by big pharma companies. We're funded by you, the viewer. And remember, another way to help us out with our outreach is by becoming a member of PrisonPlanet.tv. It's less than $6 a month. You'll get access to a lot of programming. You'll be able to see Alex's radio show during the day. You'll be able to see the InfoWars Nightly News in its entirety. You'll be able to see a lot of documentaries in high definition, free ebooks. And it really helps fund our operation. Alex has taken this operation to the next level. He has expanded the team, and he's going to continue doing so. And we thank you so much for that. And we here at InfoWars, we're not all about doom and gloom. So I'd like to take this brief moment to wish my father, David Ortiz Sr. from New Jersey, a happy 63rd birthday. You are a true patriot, and I thank you for putting this info warrior in the world. Happy 63rd birthday, Pa. I love you dearly. And for everyone else, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And remember, tune in tomorrow night. God bless.